I have never second-guessed myself in all the years I've been in this business. Never, ever do I do that. And it goes hand in hand with my philosophy that I don't celebrate the wins, nor do I lament the losses. Because, guys, listen, if you do, you shouldn't be gambling. Because if you do, you'll be walking the ledge and you'll be suicidal after every single loss. It's why I always say that the first thing you should do before you ever place your first bet, if you're watching this video report, is just accept the fact that you're going to lose. You'll be a much happier person. If you accept the negativity, then you can live with the losses and you'll eventually learn to accept losing because it'll make you a winner in the long haul. So again, I never second guess myself. But there are comical moments along the way. So yesterday, I did the website overnight, and I had a raise the bar 20-dime release. And that play ultimately turned out to be a loser. I took a team that I have used many times this season, Nevada. I thought they were a good play against Florida. They ended up losing. Later in the morning, I happened to do the video report. And I took a team that I have used more times than any other team this season. And if you watched the video yesterday, I gave you Gonzaga, a 28.5 point favorite. And as I'm doing the video report yesterday, as the words are coming out of my mouth, one of the things I said is I'm backing Gonzaga. Again, a team that I used more times than any other team this season. A team that made me more money than any other team this season. You know I only lost one bet involving Gonzaga this season. It was their last game in the West Coast Conference Championship against St. Mary's. One time I lost with Gonzaga, betting them. Here on the video report, I lost 2 plays with Gonzaga, free picks all season long. And as the words are coming out of my mouth yesterday, and the analysis and telling you why Gonzaga was going to be Fairleigh Dickinson, I said to you that if Fairleigh Dickinson was in the West Coast Conference, the worst teams in the West Coast Conference would consistently beat Fairleigh Dickinson by 20 points. As I'm saying those words, I'm thinking to myself, what the hell am I thinking? I should have taken Gonzaga. What was I doing taking Nevada? As the words are coming out of my mouth, as I'm saying it to you yesterday on the video report, I'm thinking to myself, I should have bet Gonzaga. What was I doing? Now, the play was already out there. The bet was already in. But it's just funny sometimes. You know, you have that moment of clarity, and then it hits you. I should have continued dancing with the girl I brought. The girl that had made me so much money all season long, Gonzaga. What was I thinking of? Gonzaga easily covered. Nevada loses outright. Again, no regrets. I'm not second-guessing myself, but I did find it funny. So we move forward. It was a strange day yesterday. Listen, Jack Brayman, who I talked about yesterday on the video report, a guy who had won 10 straight days yesterday and had hit 9 consecutive top-rated 100-dime releases in that stretch. He upped the ante yesterday, had a rare 200-dime play. A guy who had been sizzling. Why do I always say there are no guarantees in gambling? You can look it up in any dictionary. If people still use dictionaries, guaranteed and gambling are not on the same page and never have been, never will be. He goes and ups the ante with a 200-dime play today and gets hammered with Northeastern. So what does it mean? It means today as he goes for another winner, that over the past 11 days, $10 bettors are only up $7,990. I give him props because, again, when you are winning, you've got to press the action. That's what the key is. Another guy who has been red hot has been Chris Jordan, who's going for winning day number 18 out of 25 and 11 out of 14. A stretch where he's got $1 bettors. God, I don't know how much he has $1 bettors up in that stretch, to be honest with you. I forgot. But what the hell? Today he has his biggest play of the season going again. Double your wager, 2,000 star college basketball winner number 17 out of 22. First round mismatch of the year. Now yesterday he had his top rated 1,000 star winner on New Mexico State. Oh, what a heartbreaking loss for that team. 2 nights ago he had a top rated 1,000 star winner on Arizona State. Today, 2,000 star play. His last one was North Carolina 79-70 over Duke back on March 9th. Before that, he had one on March 4th, was Belmont over Southeast Missouri State. Winning his college basketball handicapper here at the site the past 2 years with $1 bettors up a little over $35,000. $1 bettors up over all sports the past 27 months, $54,000. 1,000 star plays or higher in all sports since 2006, $168,000 of profit. You get it for half price by using coupon code Chris. All your other discounts and coupon codes are over on the homepage. Let's get to your complimentary plays today. A team that I rode throughout the Pac-12 tournament, Oregon. I'm going to go with them again. You know, the key here to Oregon's late season surge, and I dare you to say that 3 times quickly, and it's damn hard for me right now considering I haven't slept in about 14 hours. It is going to be Oregon, and the key to their successful turnaround was Dana Altman's decision to go ahead and surround their starting point guard with 4 guys that are all 6'8". Suddenly, an Oregon team that wasn't playing any defense for considerably long stretches throughout the Pac-12 season got very stingy defensively. And during that 8-game winning streak that they carry here into the postseason, a stretch where they won 4 games in 4 days to claim the Pac-12 title, tournament title, a game where they won the championship by smoking Washington 68-48 last Sunday. In that stretch where they covered 7 out of 8 games, they held 7 opponents to under 61 points. They only gave up an average of 54.3 points during that 8-game winning streak. And that's what happens when you have a good point guard and 4 other guys that are very staunch defenders and are good rebounders. And remember, Dana Altman likes to run a combination of 2-3 zone and man-to-man, constantly switching up. But what he also does is he loves to press. He loves to use that 1-2-2 press. So when you get a rebound and you're bringing that ball up until you hit midcourt, you're being pressed and you're running valuable time off of that clock. And then when you get into your offensive set, you never know what you're going to be hit with, that 2-3 zone or maybe man-to-man. And then you've got 4, 6, 8 guys that are there. And I thought it was very interesting that in the Pac-12 tournament, in that 4 games, having that extra length, Oregon set a Pac-12 tournament record with 23 blocks in those 4 games. So now, playing in San Jose, today they're going to take on a Wisconsin team that plays basically a 3-guard lineup with Ethan Happ and another guy who's 6'11". And with all that height that they're going to bring to the table, Wisconsin's going to is going to need to be able to shoot the outside ball. Shoot effectively from the perimeter. The Badgers have not done that well at all over the past month and a half. This is a team in its first 22 games, I was reading, hit at a 40.2% clip on its 3-pointers. Last 11 games, 28.7. I mean, you're talking about a dramatic 33% drop-off in effective 3-point shooting rate. And in its final game of the Big Ten tournament against Michigan State, 2 for 19. And there you have a Michigan State team that also has length and is also a very staunch defensive team. I think you're going to see the same results here again. I think you look at teams here in the dance in the opening round that close the regular season with a flourish, do well in their tournament, and you ride them. And here you're getting a couple of points with Oregon, playing much closer to its home in San Jose than Wisconsin. And I think this is a good spot to take, once again, the team Oregon that's on a red-hot roll and go and ride the Ducks in this particular spot. Another game here today, early card, Cincinnati, -4. Actually, -4.5 against Iowa. I was not impressed with Iowa at all. This is a team that started fast this season, 12-1 in non-conference play, got into the heart of the Big Ten schedule. And what did they do? Very inconsistent team. Got blown out. Once it got into the tournament, didn't last very long. You look at the sum of the parts and you go, this should be a much better team, Iowa. But they just never played with any consistency when the games really counted. I was surprised that Cincinnati won the AAC tournament. I thought Houston, having won both regular season games, having won convincingly in the final regular season meeting in Cincinnati in that final Sunday of the regular season, really kicked Cincinnati's ass on the Bearcats' home floor. I thought Cincinnati would easily roll in the AAC championship game in Memphis. Oh, boy, was I wrong. Instead, it was Houston going down 69-57 to Cincinnati in that title game. And really, that 12-point margin was not indicative of how dominant Cincinnati was in that title game. Meanwhile, you had Iowa 74-53, bounced in its second tournament game in the Big 12. I'm surprised Cincinnati is only a 4.5-point favorite here. Not only because I think the Bearcats are a better team, but they're playing in their home state. This game is in Columbus, for Christ's sake. I mean, you're talking a hop, skip, and a jump from Cincinnati. Love Cincinnati in this game. So those are your two freebies today. Listen, I considered a couple of other games. I think Iowa State is playing some good ball right now after claiming the Big 12 title against Ohio State today. Here's the asterisk next to the Cyclones, a team that was so inconsistent in the regular season, especially down the stretch, losing six of its final 8 games. And you say the Cyclones won the Big 12 tournament. They beat a Baylor team that was injury-riddled by 17. They beat a Kansas State team that was minus Dean Wade by 4. They beat a Kansas team by 12. But Kansas, you never knew what you got from the Jayhawks day in, day out in the final month of the season. So that's the asterisk here. And Iowa State's going to go up against a very physical Ohio State team today. So I'm not so sure that I want to lay 5.5 points with Iowa State. Listen, I loved Utah State down the stretch. I mean, this is a team that has Sam Merrill, one of the top shooters in the country, a guy who averaged 26.7 points in his final 7 games of the season. That's regular season and en route to winning the Mountain West Championship. And a Utah State team that's won 10 straight and 17 of the last 18 games. A team in non-conference play that won at St. Mary's, won at Cal Irvine, lost in Las Vegas to Arizona State by 5. Lost at Houston by 10, nothing to be ashamed of there. You got a Washington team that's coming off a 20-point loss, as I noted earlier, to Oregon in the Pac-12 championship game. A Washington team that didn't look that good in the Pac-12 tournament anyway, had to rally for a 5-point win against Colorado, only beat USC by 3. A Washington team in its final 2 regular season games on the road lost to California, a California team that had lost 16 straight games coming into that contest, barely beat Stanford the next game on the road by only 1. A Washington team that lost 4 of its final 7 games. Not that impressed. But Utah State's going to go up against that 2-3 zone. And you've seen a lot of teams struggle when they face that 2-3 zone. And Utah State is the it team, right? One of those it teams. We've seen a lot of it teams have great success, right? Just yesterday, Murray State, Belmont, right? Even though they failed to win that game yesterday. I don't know. I've watched a lot of Utah State this season. I think they can win this game. I think Washington, for the second straight year, has faded fast down the home stretch. I like Utah State, but not as much as I like the 2 official free plays today. And those, of course, being Cincinnati and Oregon. So Utah State is right there on the cusp, but I like the other 2 games much more. So that'll do it, guys. I wish you well, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow when we do this again.